negotiate slash wiggle his way to another championship, or maybe KD and his crew can get past their own obstacles and make a name for themselves in this edition of the NBA. The 21-22 season, 2021-2022 season. Then we have the recently concluded IPL. Now, this is a particular interest to us because obviously Graham Bravo been representing and for those who may not have been aware, Dominic Drakes also played with the Chennai Super Kings. He was a late call-up. He and Bravo were able to be part of the victorious Chennai Super Kings team who prevailed over the Kolkata Knight Riders in this year's edition of the IPL. I have Jason online. Well, he's connected. And Gawain, you're already online, or you?
Yep, yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. Jason will join us shortly. He, as I mentioned earlier, he is representing the Willful Skillful Club, and they have an announcement of a tournament. But I was just running through the final of the IPL going, and only as its relevance to us in the West Indies, where we know that Dwayne and Dominic would have been playing with the the champions now, CSK, which means that he now has, as in Dwayne, he now has 2 championships this year.
Yeah.
EPL as well as IPL. And we looking for him to make it 3 out of 3.
Yep.
With the World Cup. But overall it was Faf du Plessis that really made the difference in this particular edition. Narain and Andre Russell won the losing team, Kolkata Knight Riders. Dre still seemed to be struggling with a bit of injury. Narain, still, I am wondering how late it is to get a call up for him, because he has been bowling spectacularly over the past few months. I don't know what your thoughts are about that. Narain, you there?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Well, it seems like, the thing with Narain is he doesn't seem confident in himself with bowling in international. I know he already been called twice, I think, in international cricket. So I think his issue is that he isn't confident with, he don't want it to be a situation whereby he might get called again, and that might be a detriment to the team because they're both a shot. So I'm thinking maybe that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why that might be an issue.
Uh-huh. But come on, given his form, though, his form has been superb.
Yeah, but he actually is, to me, okay, after the restart, he got maybe, I remember his first game back, I think he got like 1 wicket or 2 wickets. But I know he got his first wicket was in the first over, in the first game back when the IPL restarted. But then he actually has gotten better, like every single game. He has literally gotten better, so I'm like, wow, so I'm just, yeah.
It's a bit of a conundrum that they found themselves in, because I don't think that Hayden Walsh Jr., given his form right now, can really perform the way that Narain is at this point in time. And what Narain is doing or was doing for KKR is what we will need for this upcoming World Cup. For those who are not aware as well, Scotland would have just edged out Bangladesh in their World Cup qualifier, or their first round of games. Scotland put the sword to Bangladesh, so that's a bit of a shocker. The scores, let's see, I was just looking at it there a few seconds ago. Yes, here. So Bangladesh made or Scotland batting first made 140 for 9, and Bangladesh were bowled out for 134 for 7 in 20, not bowled out, but held in 20 overs. 134 for 7. In the meanwhile, Shakib Al Hassan becomes the leading wicket taker in T20 internationals, overtaking Lasith Malinga tally of 107. So he now has more than 107, I guess 108, 109. I'll be after this quick report. But yeah, Bangladesh is, they lost the match, but he now has 108 in 89 international T20s. Let's separate that from the just regular T20s, because Dwayne Bravo is by far and away the leading wicket taker in international, in all-round T20s. But yes, the big shock this afternoon is Scotland overcoming Bangladesh. A quick report on the scorecard. We have here Scotland opting to bat first. George Munsey helped himself to a nice 29 off 23. Other than that, they only got notable scores from Chris Greaves, who got 45 off 28. That's a very good 45. And Mark Watt, who got 22 off 17. Otherwise, most, with the exception of one of their scores, were in single digits with 2 ducks. So with a top score of 45 and a 29 and a 22, Scotland was able to put up 140 for 9 and defend it, because they were able to restrict Bangladesh's batting. Their top scorer was Mushfiqur Rahim, 38 off 36, which was not a very quick 38. Shakib Al Hassan himself was held brilliantly, because he made 20 off 28 deliveries. Mahamadullah, who's usually quite explosive, made 23 off 22 deliveries. And Afif Hussain made 18 of 12 deliveries. Now, even though Bangladesh may have seemed to have more batsmen who would have made larger runs than Scotland, it seems that their run rate, the rate by which these batsmen were scoring runs, was a lot slower, because I'm seeing run rates of 100, 105, 104, 150. Shakib Al Hassan was 71.42. But when you look up at the Scottish batting lineup, you had run rates of 126, 160, 129 by those who were actually batting and producing runs. So that made a difference, and Scotland now has the edge going into the matches of the World Cup. So we'll be keeping a closer look at that over the next few weeks, and we'll see how the West Indies performs in the meanwhile. I'm seeing Mr. Brazier having problems logging in. Gawain, you back with us?
Yeah, I think I am. Should be. Okay, yeah, I'm back.
Okay, great. Oh, I love your shirt, man. That's the Ajax 2021, boy. The Tree of the Birds.
Yeah, I find it right, man. Tree of the Birds. I decided to bring it out today.
Nice. Our just discussion that Scotland just beat Bangladesh today as a shocker.
I was upset, man.
Yeah, big upset. So Bangladesh will struggle now to qualify for the next round, because you can't lose to those tight teams and still expect to qualify unless you're able to overturn the bigger teams in the groups.
Exactly. And the thing about it, Scotland was what, 56 for 6, I think?
Yeah, agreed. But they got a big a big 48 out of Chris Greaves.
Uh-huh.
And he changed everything for them.
You
Changed
see,
everything
that,
out.
I think that's the thing.
Chris
That's
Greaves,
the
yeah,
thing with
45.
T20 cricket. Yeah, that's the thing with like T20 cricket is like you can get one big showing from one person at the right time that could just change your match.
Yep. And then we had Oman putting Papua New Guinea to the sword. Papua New Guinea made 129 for 9 in their 20, and Oman made it in 13.4 overs, 131 without loss. So they ain't come out to play with these guys at all. Interesting to see how these games.
What is strange that you have both Bangladesh, which is an ODI team, an international ODI team, recognized international ODI team, and Sri Lanka both playing in the group stage matches.
That's the challenge.
Scotland.
Sri Lanka has fallen off some ways, They haven't really been performing as well as they should in the T20s over the last few. So, and they do have a good limited overs, or they used to have a good limited overs team. But now that Lasith Malinga retiring, I ain't really hearing much names coming out of them.
I think that's what happened. Like for their setup, it's almost like what happened to us a few years back. Well, like you said to us, because we aren't as bad as them. Well, in that aspect, is that they had a lot of their players retiring like at the same time. So you had like a lot of the guys just leaving the team like a couple months within a 18 months period. You had like 3 other players retiring, like Fernando, Malinga, Josiah, all those guys just leaving the team, within an 18 months period. So they never really had a chance to rebuild per se or build around a core set of players and stuff like that. And then when they visited us early this year, like after the series, Perez or however you pronounce his name, he then retired. So it's just all new guys now,
All right. Well, we have Mr. Brazier here online with us. I see you got through you're having some connectivity issues earlier. Welcome to the bench meeting, Mr. Brazier or Jason. I don't know which one you prefer to call you.
Well, thanks, Kenneth, for having me. And actually, I would actually prefer to go by Nobby,
Nobby. Yes.
Yeah, that's the names that most persons, are familiar with. Nobby.
Nobby. All right, no problem. I'm comfortable with that.
Well, thanks for having me.
Welcome, and Gawain is with us, my co-host, Gawain Fritz.
Okay, good afternoon, Gawain.
Good afternoon.
And I've also kind of prepped the listeners already, indicating that we're expecting some exciting news from you this afternoon.
Yes, most definitely.
Go ahead, sir. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks again to Win FM, Win Media, and certainly the bench meeting group, yourself, Kenneth, for having us. I'm here on behalf of the Willful, Skillful Sports Club. It's a sporting club that was formed by one Don Dango Farrell way back in 1986 here in St. Kitts. And since then, he has broadened out and have similar branches of the sports club in St. Martin, where he presently resides, and also in the British Virgin Islands, where he previously resided as well. So the Willful, Skillful Sports Club really goes about organizing mainly football and cricket tournaments. It's a non-profitable organization. So these tournaments are organized, based on sponsors and, donors and, and stuff. But for this particular cricket tournament, it's a 35 years and over cricket tournament named in honor of one of our foremost cricketers, Alfred Luther Kelly, known to most as Shotgun.
Mm.
So this is actually the 12th year that the tournament is being held. It used to be
We lost him, or
Yeah, it looked like we lost him, man. Oh no. Oh, see, it's Dango. Like he's coming on.
okay.
Dango.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
we're back.
Kenneth, I'm sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. We understand.
Are you hearing me?
Very well. Very well. Welcome, Dango.
Hey, my
Hello?
brother. Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Hi,
Good
Kenneth.
afternoon. So Nabi, you were just telling me about the shotgun, and I wanted to ask you a bit more about him and the rationale behind hosting the competition in his honor. Dango, you got that question? If you could assist.
Well, basically, the Luther shotgun Alfred Kelly have been somebody that have done a lot for West Indies cricket, you know, in the past, playing in Combine Islands, Leewards, you know, representing St. Kitts. And I see it fitting that you give a man his flowers when he's alive. So basically, I started a tournament here back in St. Kitts. You could say 12 years back, which was the Clem Hicks cricket tournament over 35. And then after that finished, I decided to have a little game with St. Kitts versus Nevis because I had quite a bit of players from Nevis playing in the tournament as well. And eventually after that finish, I said, nah, man, we can continue this thing. And then I went on to move over to the Luther Kelly tournament, and I invited Anguilla and St. Martin, and decided that, okay, I got a good offer from Mr. Imran Maksud at that time to host the tournament in St. Martin. So I said, okay, no problem, I'll look forward to do that. And then there we all started. You know, the tournament started with St. Kitts, Nevis, Anguilla, and St. Martin. You know, and that is 12 years back. And as I said, it's always fitting for me, you know, to give somebody the flowers when they're alive.
So this is the first time in how long would you have last time because it would have impacted previous plans?
Well, basically, this is the second year of the tournament being played in St. Kitts.
Nice. Okay.
And last year was basically the first year because we are accustomed to, well, the teams from St. Kitts Nevis are already accustomed to travel over to St. Martin.
Right.
Where we started off with 4 teams, 4 islands. They said Anguilla, St. Kitts Nevis, and St. Martin. And then after a few years, we ended up allowing the British Virgin Islands and US Virgin Islands to participate in the tournament. So then we moved on to 6 teams, 6 islands participating in the tournament. And also we moved on to an additional day. We went on to have the tournament for 3 days instead of 2 days.
So now at this stage, it's back to 4 teams, or you still have the 6 teams coming?
Well, it's back to 4 teams due to the fact that the traveling is still hampering us.
Yes.
You know, and again, to keep everything flowing, we decided to keep it in St. Kitts for this year as well.
Because you have a little bit more freedom.
Yes. Well, to be honest, in St. Martin, there's a lot of freedom to play sports. But then now, as I said, the traveling part of it for the St. Kitts and the Nevis part of it is the ticklish one. Anguilla, British Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, no problem with them right now traveling over. You know, and normally the tournament used to be held around the Thanksgiving weekend. And the main reason for that, it was, how must I put it, sports tourism in a very big way, because all of the islands that participate in the tournament, the players, the spectators, all the travelers look forward for that big shopping spree weekend. So that was the main weekend, the main reason we had it on the Thanksgiving weekend. The very first year of the tournament, we actually held it the 21st of December. That was the first year of the tournament. We held it on the 21st of December, and then we decided, we go back to the draft board, we decided that, you know, we're gonna do it around another holiday weekend where we could get people to come over and shop and enjoy themselves. And if you hear me saying we, I am referring to like someone like Mullins, Liebert, Carl Tuckett, you know, Alison Rouse, and Captain Isles, you know, Austin Williams, ex-police commissioner. I call those names because those, they never really missed a tournament per se. They have always been there, always. You know, so we basically wanted to accommodate everybody and to make sure everybody have fun, and at the same time enjoy the cricket, and then coming back home, we're able to have goodies that would last them for a while.
How has your maybe you could answer this, how has your team in terms of representation, how have you been shaping up? Nabi, there?
I'm hearing you.
Yeah, how are your teams coming together?
We held a virtual meeting with them a couple of days ago. I think it might have been last week, Monday or Tuesday. And everything is in place, more or less. We outlined the playing rules and conditions of the tournament to them, and I think everyone is set and rearing to go.
Okay, and from what I see, you're hosting everything in Molyneux, so I'm assuming everything is prepped up here as well?
Can you repeat that?
I noticed from the information you sent, you're hosting competition in Molyneux.
I'm losing the last question.
Molyneux.
Yes, the games this year are being held at Molyneux. We decided to try a different venue, and if all goes well, because the Cricket Association basically controls Connery, and so we decided to let's try Molyneux, and if all goes well over there, then for the future competitions, then we could more or less adopt Molyneux as, you know, the home venue for this particular tournament.
Okay, all right, and in terms of support, Dago, who are the companies and stuff that you have on board? I certainly want to give a little bit of a mention of the kind of support you've been getting locally, regionally, that kind of thing.
Well, you know, to be honest, you know, I'm basically based in St. Martin, and we do have a committee here that runs the organization to make sure that everything is in place. So, Mr. Brajan Nobby will be the one to basically highlight those companies that is on board. And there's one particular person on our committee that I must really give praise to and tip my hats to is Corporal Alison Rouse. And I say that because the committee have persons that basically have been designated the different jobs to do different things. You know, and she basically have been the main person on the outside dealing with all of those different companies and everything, while Mr. Bajo coordinate, all the other necessary stuff and send out all the different emails. So Mr. Bajo basically could be the person to tell you about some of those companies that is on board presently.
I know. So give us a little bit of an idea about persons that have companies that have been supporting you. I think you're muted, Nobby.
Kenneth, are you there?
Yeah, we here.
Okay. Well, obviously, we must start with Win FM and Win Media. From the moment we wrote to the chairman, Richard Berridge, he came on board, and so we must say a big thank you to Richard Berridge as chairman of the board, to Lena McMaster as the manager, and certainly to yourself as the host of the bench meeting, I'm sure, which we are on right now. ZIZ is also on board as a media house. ZIZ Radio and TV. And we also have to say a big up to Flow. Flow is the official telecommunications sponsor of the tournament. So to David Lake and Charisma Patrick, we have to say a hearty thank you. The other major sponsors who came on board quite willingly was Sugar's Entertainment, Layamiga Funeral Home. So, the funeral, the business of a funeral home also extends to sporting competitions et al., not just funeral services. Then we have like Ali Construction, Party Central, Advantage Capital Management, Nagico Insurance, Brooks Construction. We have obviously the sports department and the St. Kitts Cricket Association. And we have Carrie Breweries, Coscab, Royal Logistics, and Talbot Taxi Services. And this one, Kenneth, I have deliberately decided to leave for last. Because although Win FM accommodated us quite easily from the outset, guess who decided to come on board as an individual sponsor? I give you two guesses.
Mr. Berridge himself?
You only needed one guess. You only needed one guess. Richard donated a hearty some cash sponsorship towards the tournament, and also sponsored with the donation of beers as well.
If I only had them kind of smart that I was going to school, boy, I'd be a scholar.
Yeah, so those are our main sponsors, and obviously we have quite a number of small donors who we won't go through at this time. But these are the major sponsors as we speak to you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it is. Well, like I alluded to from the outset, I mean, the club is, non-profitable, charitable organization, and outside of the sporting tournament, we also honor persons who have contributed in the field of sports or, community activities. So we rely on the sponsors and the donors, towards assisting us in honoring, community legends and sporting legends.
And as you touch on that, Dango, I know you also do other types of coaching, mentoring. At least I've seen on your social media. You want to mention a little bit about those as well, too?
Well, thanks again for bringing in a little tidbit. Well, the organization is, a full-blown sports club, the Willful Skillful Sports Club, which is basically notarized in St. Martin. We also have a branch over in Tortola, British Virgin Islands as well, and the one here. And we're looking forward for January to have a branch over there in St. Lucia. One of our coaches will be run a full-blown football academy with kids. Presently, we have like 87 kids right now in the academy. And the age bracket is 12 years to 4. Well, on to go down to 4. We start from 4 years up. So we don't go over 12 because of the system and everything, you know. So we try our utmost best to nurture these young boys and girls. When I say boys and girls, we do have we have a under 8 team, we have a under 10 team, we have a under 13 team, and then we have a female team in 2 categories. One which is basically like 6 and under, and the other one is like 12 and under. So this has been an ongoing academy now for the past 7 years in St. Martin. Still going, and we got to be thankful for that. Besides that too, we still have our normal basketball team that comes over from the BBI all the time, comes over to St. Martin to participate in the Battle of the Fittest basketball tournament over there. You know, so it's quite a lot we done with sports, and we enjoy doing it.
Have you also done music as well?
Well, we have a band. We have a band by the name of Skillful Band that basically came from the football academy. These was the first set of guys that started out in the football academy 7 years back, and they are the ones that run in the Skillful Band, which is one of them is basically my son. He is the captain of the band. I do manage the band as well too, you know, and it have been a band that started off, almost call it, with a no name, and now they basically have one of the biggest musical names in and out of St. Martin.
Nice. There's a lot. It's not just sports. It's not just one sport. It's a holistic, community-based organization that you practically built there with the support.
Yes, definitely. You know, and as I said, that the club is notarized in St. Martin, and notarized in a way that we not just can bring in sporting teams. We could basically host a musical concert with the big dogs, the Marshall Montana, the New Boys Band, the Jam Band, you know, the big reggae artists and those kind of things, because that is what, you know, we have at the notary office.
All right. Well, let me give you a little bit of opportunity again to at least let the public know what is happening in this upcoming, it's the 22nd to the 24th, if I saw correctly, the Luther Kelly Cricket Tournament. Who is invited, how we can find out a bit more of it, and then thereafter, if Gawain has any questions, I'll let him go ahead and ask a few.
Well, yeah, once I would want to invite out the general public. Again, all COVID-19 protocols is going to be in place. We want them to respect that. All the spectators, all the cricket lovers, you know, you come out and you enjoy yourself, yes, but at the same time, please to adhere to the protocols of the COVID-19. The tournament starts at 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and we have 3 games on the Saturday and 3 games on the Sunday. And basically, it's going to be a ding-dong tournament, because the things that we give away in this tournament is not trophies. We kind of move past giving a big man or elder a trophy that costs $20 and $40 now. So I could tell you straight off the back, the players then that will be participating, you know, the best batsman, the best bowler, the most runs, and all those different things, will be walking home with a flat screen 36-inch TV with built-in fire stick inside of it, you know. So again, there's something to come on, give out, and plus a lot of different giveaways as well too. So not just for the cricketers itself, we always give out things to the fans, to the spectators, And I could tell you straightforward, please walk with your mask. And if you don't have a mask, we will give you one. If you don't have a mask, we will give you one. Because we want everybody to be safe. We want you to be comfortable, you know, and we want you to be happy and sit back and enjoy lovely cricket.
Okay, Dango, Gary, is there any fee for these matches?
No fee at all. No fee whatsoever. You come, enjoy the music, the bars, the drinks, the cricket. You know, you don't have to pay.
Okay. And like how you guys were saying that is a sponsor, the telecommunication sponsor. I was wondering if you guys would maybe streaming any of the matches or anything like that.
I leave that part for Mr. Brader. Mr. Brader is the one that have that dunk pack.
Okay. I realize he's on mute. Nabi.
Navi, any streaming of the games? Anyway, we can follow up on them?
Still is on mute. Okay. Well, I guess.
Kenneth, are you hearing?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having all sorts of problems today. And I'm getting a terrible feedback and I'm not even close to range or anything. Yeah, but I expect to have another meeting with Flo between tomorrow and Tuesday to finalize those details, because we definitely want to have the games streamed live. So by the time we have our next meeting with Win FM again, we on Island T 9:30 Tuesday morning, then we should have some more information to give out to the public.
Okay, then that's good.
But if I may just add a bit more to what Dango was talking about in relation to the start of the games on Saturday. We having the opening ceremony starting at 8:40, from 8:40 until 9. A very short opening ceremony, and then the Prime Minister will officially open the tournament by bowling the first ball. And then the action starts. And then on Sunday evening, immediately following the conclusion of the tournament finals, then we'll have our closing ceremony where the Prime Minister again will be involved along with the Honorable Minister of Sports, Janelle Powell. So they'll be assisting and other officials, you know, in the distribution of prizes, you know, to the winners and the honorees, etc.
Okay, well, that's good, because if persons kind of tend, you know, some persons still not too comfortable about going around crowds, it would still be good, you know, for these matches to be broadcast, and for persons who couldn't even come to think it, you know, would be good for them to see the matches.
Most definitely. Definitely.
I'm pretty sure over there should be. Because, you know, that area, especially Molyneux, is a big cricket-loving community, and playing on the old, well, not the old, playing on the Edgar Gilbert Sporting Complex ground, you know, person's going to be there, showing up.
Definitely, and we expect to have lots of persons coming over from Nevis as well.
Oh yeah, you know, once Nevis, they bring their own crowd.
Oh yes, they sure do.
Okay.
All right, and what I want, the only last request I would have, Nabi, is, or Dango, is if somebody could filter some of the results to us next week, by next week Sunday. I'm certain some games will have been played, and it would be helpful if we could have updated the public and the listeners who are interested to find out how to, or give them an update on how the games are going, and it may even serve as an encouragement for one or two to come down and or go across and watch the finals or something. So if one of the two of you can reach out and let me know how the games are folding, it would be
okay. That will definitely be done, because in our discussions with Ms. McMaster and Richard, that came up as well. So, for example, the recording, the video recording of the opening ceremony will be sent to you guys. so that you can post it on your media website. And then ZIZ is going to allow us to do 2 live 5-minute radio interviews at 3 p.m. and 6.
He having problems with his mute. All right, well,
Yeah, first it was
again, if you want the
Danga is now
opportunity
having
to-
problems.
to touch base, you could always reach out and we would put the word out there. But for those persons who may have just joined us, we are currently on air with Jason Brazier, aka Nubby, and Don Farrell, aka Dango. 2 persons. Dango, I know. Nubby, are you from St. Kitts as well, too, originally?
Yes, I was.
Okay, great.
Actually,
Uh-huh.
Danga and I opened for the St. Kitts youth cricket team together, and
Oh,
it used to be a lot of confusion because I am half of Danga's size. Well, Danga is like a giant, I'm more like a midget, and so he used to want to face the first ball, and I always kept saying, "Hey, no. I am the senior batsman. You might be bigger than me, you might be older than me, but I am the senior batsman." So it never
Nice.
ever went down well with him that I was always the one facing the first ball.
No question though. How successful were you as an opening pair?
We were very proficient, and I'm not, not knocking our glasses. I think Danga will say the same thing. We are very proficient. One of the better opening pair, junior opening pair that the St. Kitts youth team has had.
Nice. Well, I ain't gonna wait. It's interesting because I know that St. Kitts has a very rich history of cricket and cricketers, but it seems like Nevis always gets the publicity. I mean, not to say that they haven't had their own quality and very good quality over the years, but you never really know a lot of the history of the St. Kitts cricket aspect of things.
That is true. And as you so correctly alluded to, Nevis tends to get the highlight when it comes to cricket, and maybe quite rightly so, because I mean, per capita for a small cricketing nation to have produced so many West Indies cricketers, I mean, it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this is not our final interaction. It'll be good to, even if it's just to go through the history, your history of St. Kitts cricket, because that's the type of information we like here on the program. That's the type of things we tend to enjoy discussing. So today was dedicated to the competition, but maybe in some time in the future we could spend a bit more time, yourself, Dango, myself, Gawain, running through your bits and pieces of the history of St. Kitts cricket, as far as you guys to tell the stories, and maybe it'll give some inspiration to some of the youngsters and others listening on.
Most definitely, Kenneth. We'll definitely take you up on that in the foreseeable future.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot for being here. I don't know if yourself or Dango has any other further words, but thank you for being here. And we really, if I'm not able to make it, I'll definitely be paying keen attention to what's going on over Molyneux.
Okay, well, thanks for having us again, Kenneth, because it doesn't appear as if Dango is back. But thanks for hosting us, allowing us to reach out to the public to let them know that, cricket is again back in St. Kitts, Molyneux, Edgar Gilbert Sporting Complex this weekend, Saturday 23rd and Sunday 24th. Please come out and, support your teams. 2 teams from St. Kitts, 2 teams from Nevis. Thanks for having us, and thanks to Win FM, Win Media for the advertisement. Much appreciated.
Thank you for being here, and we look forward to hearing from you again in the near future.
Okay, you take care. Have a safe and peaceful Sunday. Rest of the week as well.
All the best.
Okay, bye-bye.
Gawain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so before we started the interview, 2 things I deliberately left out of my introduction.